we're gonna just we're gonna go ahead and look at the next 3 months, April, May, and June, and just kind of take a look. I think I'm just gonna pretty much pull love, career, finance for each month, so we'll do that. Hopefully the lighting is sufficient. My laptop here needs to charge, so typically I have my lamp on, but I think we're okay. I don't know, guys. I'm very excited for 2025 though. I just the energy really feels so great. Yeah. Things are balancing out, guys, things are definitely balancing out from, regarding hard times, having to cut people out, having to really go within, rest, seek guidance. Yeah. There's something else though. There were some other energies in your vicinity, and it's like you were in a period of bad luck. You just weren't able to be yourself. So anyway, that definitely I feel like could be regarding a past lover. I just feel like a lot of I've just been hearing a lot of messages, guys, regarding karmic ties being broken, if you will. So, and I definitely feel it in the energy. At least definitely in my own energy, because I definitely let go of a whopper. Thank goodness it didn't really get too far down the line. This is I cut that shit out, guys. I've been guided to just kind of, and actually I heard a message today, believe it or not, because I said I've been being guided to just go a little bit more with the flow in my readings, and because I started out kind of doing a structure, if you will, here for the past 3 or 4 months. Just kind of doing different spreads, which I do enjoy, but I'm going to try to change it up here every now and then. Honestly, Sun and the Strength card, Alright, guys, I think I've done this already. So I'm just going to go ahead. Typically, I'm just going to shuffle this way. So April, love, career, finance. Okay. May, love, career, finance. Knight of Cups there for your May love. Ooh. How much can y'all see? Oh, y'all can't really see. So, I do the best I can, but pretty much out of 6 cards, only 2 have flipped here, right here. So, I kind of like 2, and it's like a surprise, What's going to be under this one? June, love, career, finance. That's how they landed. That's how they landed. Bottom of the deck. All right, the Ten of Wands. So I'm taking the bottom of the, I take the bottom of the deck energy for all my readings. As essentially kind of the foundational energy, or, kind of, why am I like blanking on, yeah, okay, essentially kind of like the overall energy, or just energy that really wants to, is really wants to be known, whether subconsciously or consciously. But we have the Ten of Wands that popped up for us. So right off the bat, what I'm getting with this is I feel that you definitely have some sort of, I don't know what you do in your day-to-day, but definitely a lot of responsibility. Now, whether this responsibility feels like a burden or not, is going to resonate differently with every single one of us. But something's kind of getting you guys exhausted, and I feel like, if you see there the castle that's right across from the character there, if he could just kind of get some help, right? Ask for some help and perhaps delegate tasks, or however that looks, each situation will be different. But if he could just kind of lighten his load, then he could see the castle right in front of him, and that he's really not too far from being able to, rest his feet and just kind of rejuvenate, really. Okay, so whatever that is, guys, big calling, if you're able to delegate some tasks or some responsibilities, guys, it's just going to be a big call for you here, because I think essentially because all of these Ten of Wands, you're giving your focus to, and therefore I feel that you're being distracted from, I don't know, I really, the first thing I was feeling is like kind of distracted from like taking care of yourself, or building a spiritual connection, or doing things that bring you happiness and joy, especially if you feel burnt out, or in a bit of stress because there's so much flurry of activity. But only you really will know best, but there's something there, there should be something there nagging you in the background, if you resonate with this reading, that you just feel like you have too much on your plate. And so again, if you can get rid of something, or cut something out, or if you can delegate, or if you can again transmute, however that looks to you guys, and as I said, not really taking time for yourself here with the Ten of Wands, so being at the bottom of the deck, but the Hermit in the reverse, guys. So it's like you just need to take a little bit of time for yourself, to just a little bit of solitude. Like what you do with that solitude is up to you, okay? You may be definitely healing, or have dealt with I was just talking about karmic relationships earlier, wasn't I? So I think you also, basically a romantic connection was ended here, guys, in some form or fashion. Okay. All right, but let's get into the reading. So we're going to start with April, and this is cute, but of course I have April, May, and June, okay? But this is love, career, and finance column, okay? Now, on your love, in the love position so far, you have, both are cups cards, which is really the cup speaks to the emotional side of our, of our human nature. Okay. But so far, I really like the energies that I'm seeing here, guys. It's just, I feel like, because again, you walking away from something in and of itself was a hard thing to do, but you're gonna, I feel like with this card, the Hermit coming in the reverse, there's gonna be a period to really reflect on this and make sure that you're really taking care of yourself on an energetic and emotional level. Like, really take care of yourself. If make sure you grieve properly, or and forgive when the time is right, and when you feel like you can. But don't rush into things. Don't rush into other relationships. I mean, you're already, again, I don't know what you have on your plate here, but it looks like quite a bit, because you feel like you just have a lot of stuff you got to do. So, but don't neglect, don't neglect that healing period, guys. That period of solitude, however that looks to you. Even if it's just that moment where you're, taking a shower, you're in the bathroom, that type of thing. Take that time to reflect, instead of maybe having music on, or maybe a show on in the background, like silence. Just really sit under, have the water falling on you, and really just kind of reflect, or try to meditate in there. Like, just come up with your own system, but there's always a way, guys, to just get a little bit of mindfulness somehow. All right, but let's go ahead and flip over. So the only cards that presented themselves are these four. Sorry, I lost how to count there for a second, and we have 5 that I don't know, that we yet don't know what they are. So let's start with April and love. Ooh, this is so exciting. The Magician, guys. And I just love, because I was talking to the Cups cards here for May and June, but if you can kind of see this, you're manifesting big time. And this is so beautiful, because really, guys, I mean, you must be, unless you don't know, it could, you're either tuned in, tapped and turned on, okay, and you've manifested, you kind of what you're doing, you know what I mean, you're not starting fresh, or you don't really know what you're doing, but this is just literally pure, literally your desire. You're turning, because the Magician speaks to pure willpower, so you're turning your desires into manifestations in love, guys. You're literally manifesting, because look, you have a Knight of Cups energy coming in. So this is a dreamer, guys. This is someone that may bring you a proposal. This could be someone, this isn't a page, a page energy, if you will, this is someone that, I don't want to say been around the block, but there's a little bit more maturity. There's a little bit more, they've experienced more than a page has, perhaps, if I can explain that well. So, but yeah, you are literally, I can already tell you, in the next 3 months ahead, April, May, June, you have a lot of love flowing to you, guys. You're manifesting it, again, whether subconsciously or consciously, and so here with the Knight of Cups, I definitely feel that, in the next month ahead, guys, so in May, I definitely see someone approaching you here, definitely with a lot of emotion. So I don't know if this is someone that you know or not, but truly what I'm getting is more of a feeling like this is going to be someone that it's a surprise to you. But this person's going to be very charming, very graceful, and they can be very romantic. They love to flirt. And this could be a Libra. Take it if you meet a Libra. Okay, it's just because this really is about being in love with love, which I have heard very often of Libras, of which I am. So they're just all about love. And at this time, guys, I feel like you're really being vulnerable and expressing love to those around you. And, for some of you, this can even feel a little bit scary, because essentially you're bearing your soul, allowing, you know what I mean? Or not saying allowing, but not, having to understand that this, you just have to be mindful of, right? Of not getting back into an energy where you attract someone that's not your person, because when you meet your person, this would never happen. This will never happen. And then, headed into June with the Three of Cups, and honestly, really just, obviously June, summertime, but I just really feel like you guys are really going to be taking advantage of the summer and taking advantage of being single, quite frankly. I feel like you're going to really be connecting with family and friends over the summer, maybe even romantic interest, but it just kind of depends on what path you're on at this time. But this could even speak to friendship turning to romance. So perhaps you do meet someone that you fancy here in May, and it eventually ends up turning into something in June. But it's just so beautiful the way I see the Magician literally up top, first card to come in for literally today, and seeing what you're manifesting here. So you're manifesting love literally all around, guys, and I feel that with that being said, you yourself are vibrating at such a high frequency of love, because that's what's coming to you in the next 3 months ahead is love. So whatever it is that you're manifesting, which it looks like here you're manifesting, a romantic interest or romantic opportunities. And it also looks like you are manifesting time away, time for joyous celebrations, maybe drinks with friends, whatever that looks like. Maybe even planning little getaways, or, time with the ladies, time with the men, type of thing. But, all right, honestly, it's so exciting. Okay, so let's move into career. So flipping over so this is for April, okay? And so this right now represents your career. Now, the Four of Swords, it really speaks to rest. So coming in the reverse, guys, you guys really are being called here, okay? And this is going to resonate, again, differently for everyone, but you're really being called to take a break. You guys are definitely going, it seems like you're going, not necessarily 100 miles an hour, but, and I said earlier, you don't want the day-to-day to distract you from your spiritual connection, or from taking that time to really reflect, on what happened, really reflect on the pain. And so you can see with the imagery, right, with the Four of Swords, the universe is here. You're going through pain, and the universe knows that, because you're definitely in contemplation and regret right now. But with it being in the reverse, you're not taking the time. You're just so busy with the daily grind, or whatever it looks like, that or you could just be literally distracting yourself with stuff purposely. That could be the message too here for some of you, that you're like, and you're well aware. If this is your message, you're well aware. You may be, whatever it is, like you may be playing video games, or just watching a bunch of stuff on YouTube, or maybe you've picked up a new Netflix show when but and I'm saying, like, but then like thoughts of this person still keep coming around, and but and again here, guys, it's also the Hermit in the reverse. So you're being called, you need to take some alone time, guys. I don't know how that looks like to you, because I don't know what your situation is. You have kids, not have kids? Are you able to go get away for a weekend? Do you have the place to yourself or not? That kind of thing. And if not, planning a day to go to the park, maybe earlier during the sunset, and take time to just walk and be with your thoughts. So yes, I was talking about that earlier, was I not? Like, even if you can't do much, you have kids, something like that, take time in the shower too. But something you are being called, you are being called to take a look at this past relationship, guys. I mean, now, not to say that this is like dragging you down. No, you're in a beautiful energy of desire and daydreaming about your future and what you want to manifest. So you keep doing that. So you're doing something right there. Again, but you're still being called, guys. I feel like you're just being called to dig deeper because, well, because I don't know, right? Everyone's situation is going to be different, but once you really dig in and dig deeper, things are just going to, like, your manifestations are really going to start, popping off. So maybe, really try and focus on that here in the month of April. As soon as you hear this message, really, to take that time, guys, take that time to connect with, with source energy, with your spirit. And this is going to take time being alone. So if you're constantly doing things, distracting yourself, if you're constantly around people, if you haven't been alone, that's the message. If you haven't really been alone to reflect and contemplate on really, say you haven't cried over this situation yet, or really every time a thought pops in, you instantly push it out, right? Because really, often, guys, meditation, it's not about changing a thought. It's literally simply observing the thought. It's there, it came up, observe it, and then once it goes, it goes. So anyway, so I hope I explained that well. Now, that did come in right as well for the career, even though I felt very, I was talking more there about this past hurt that because there's some pain. There's just some pain that you're dealing through. But just reflect on that pain, guys, really is what needs to be done. And that's going to help propel you as well in the area of career matters. And truly, I think you're really being called here to take a vacation or time off, okay? Because you're burning out. You're burning out, and I don't know really from what, but understand that we're of no service to anyone if we're running on empty. We're of no service to ourselves either. So you're encouraged to take a step back. And, again, just plan a weekend getaway, incorporate mindfulness practices into your routine, anything, okay? And that's going to help you as well in the area of career. Now, the Two of Pentacles is coming in for the career for May. So there's definitely, I feel like, maybe you're in a position where you're not certain about next steps in your current position. If you work in the corporate sector, for example, this could even be speaking to your own business or your own projects. But there's essentially there's a decision here that you're going to feel unsure of in terms of what to do next here in the month of May. Okay, so, truly though, I think this stems back here to this Ten of Wands, right? Because that's why I was saying at the beginning of the reading, I take this as the foundational energy, or there's something there, that kind of will always, for me, shine a light on the main reading here. But, I just get a feeling that here this is coming in as you're being overworked, guys. So in the month of May, you're going to feel like you're being overworked. You may feel unorganized, overwhelmed. Simply, you're going to feel chaotic energy, okay? And you've overextended you're overextending yourself. So again, this indicates, guys, that this is probably the third message now telling you you're juggling too many responsibilities, okay? And you may, this may be a sign to step back for a moment and take a breath, okay? And find ways to center yourself amidst this perceived chaos. The Two of Pentacles it just really reminds us that whatever we're dedicating our energy to is what we're currently committed to. Okay, so definitely message there for someone. So it's like what I was saying earlier about thinking about different jobs, but also you may be wanting to leave like maybe an industry you've been in for a while and start something of your own, to fulfill and bring in more satisfaction. Now, beautifully, I was going to say first major arcana, but no, that was the Magician. And so far, major arcana for one in the love column and one in the career column. But we have the Strength coming in. And I feel like it's a touch bit dark, guys. Let me just go ahead and turn the light on. All right, I think that's a little bit better. So we have the Strength card coming in for your career in the month of June. This speaks to courage, bravery, confidence, specifically self-confidence, and very importantly, inner power. So as I was just saying about, I do definitely get I'm getting a feeling here, guys, that you guys are about to leave something you've been in for quite some time, like an industry. Even for example, for myself, like I worked in the science industry. That was the bulk of my, professional career. And I worked in the science industry. I'd say, really for about close to 10 years. So, and now I'm doing something completely different, but it allows me more freedom in my day. So, and that's what has really given me the chance and mindset to, start reading tarot, which I enjoy so much, guys. So I feel that this is literally indicating that if this is your situation, guys, of course you have the free will. Just do it. You have to trust your instincts. That's your intuition. You have to. I can't, speak for you, but I feel like you guys are gonna go for it. That's why the energy of the Strength is coming in. Now you may chicken out last minute, guys, but let me tell you, the fact that the Strength is coming in for you is telling you that, to me, this is like follow your dreams. Because when you get the Strength card in an upright manner, it shows that you have the fortitude to see this through. This is self-mastery at work, making bold career moves and taking big steps. So, this also means that you're a very patient individual who is likely to accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Your resilience will greatly aid you, and your fearlessness means that you should have no issue speaking your mind. So, it's like the reading is speaking for itself, okay? This is just, for whoever this is resonating with, I'm so happy, guys, because I just wish you could see, from my angle, because the Magician still is sitting at the top and just kind of overlooking all of this. So what this is telling me is you are 100% manifesting, co-creating with source energy. This is the energy here. Not only are you bringing love, but you're literally making changes in career too. Let's take a look at your finances. Finances, I've seen all the cards are flipped with their back to me. So let's start with May. And I'll go ahead, actually, this will be fun. I'll let you guys see first. Okay, so this is going to be finances, your April finances. All right, so the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords I really take as a message. So, okay, so what I'm getting the feeling of is I feel that there may be a call to the page can also speak to contracts. So either here in April, either you're not going to sign a contract, or there's going to be a contract of some sort that you decide is not going to work best for you. So essentially, make sure that you read through any contracts here in the month of April very carefully. But this, again, this also can speak to me as like as a message, or it could even speak to like gossip, but essentially communication, right? But in some form or fashion, it's like perhaps you're going to feel like you're having a hard time trying to get your finances in order this month, you know, trying to like really reach people and get the help that you need. You know, also what this could speak to, you know, is like the energies of feeling scatterbrained or almost like poor planning, something like that regarding finances, guys. So either you need to kind of get your finances in order, like take a look. I was going to say that earlier, like maybe this is like even to yourself, almost like an indication that you don't want to look at your finances, you don't want to talk about it right now, you don't want to think about it. But this, you know, if that resonates with you, this is definitely a call to, you know, because everything's energy here, guys. You know, as you're manifesting love, career, money, you know, everything is energy. So you know, you really need to be careful about, you know, your mindset regarding money. You know, again, this can speak to over analyzing, but essentially no action. So your guys, it's like you're you're stressed thinking about this situation, yet you don't want to take action or just even, so however that resonates, you know, big message there. So now this could be a small message for some of you, you know, just kind of like a side message, but this could speak to the almost like being too shy to publicly express yourselves for fear of rejection of what others think. So maybe you've, you know, wanted to put yourself in the public eye in some form or fashion, maybe give advice in some type of area of your expertise, but again, it's like something's keeping you from really speaking your mind here, you know, or of shining your light. So be, you know, really look into that, guys. I'll go ahead here. Let me just move on. Okay, so that's April. May. So we have, didn't we just say, so far one major arcana has popped up in each column. And I love when I make columns, and like almost consistently when I have columns in my readings, I always get one major arcana in each column. It's almost like it's pretty cool. So we have the moon here, guys. So again, what is going on? Definitely something that finances are not in the best of situations here, okay? And that could be leading also just the money mindset, guys, you know, because if you feel this way, if you feel like money is a burden, or you have to, what you do to make your money is a burden, you just, if I didn't say it earlier, but money is, think of money as energy. So how is your relationship to money, okay? Do you respect money? And so just really take a look at that, guys. Now, the moon is coming in for the month of May, okay? So for me here, really what I'm getting, it's kind of like you've reached a point where you just finally break down and you feel like you need help, okay? Now, I also feel that this is really, like, you may even make comments like, Lord, please help me, or like, Lord, I need help. Yet, it's like, you know, how can I explain it well? You're asking for help, yet you're not putting in any effort in terms of trying to heal. And I think once you start putting a little effort into that, you know, you're really going to start things are really going to start clearing up for you. Now in the month, now what I'm saying here is you're going to have to, you're really going to have to look into what I said in April. In the month of May, it's still going to feel like you're kind of at a crisis of faith. This is going to be like a turning point in terms of your career, your finances. So you may be doing something very pinnacle in the next month, and whatever that looks like. I don't know. I'm talking possibly maybe filing for bankruptcy, selling a house, selling a car, something big to really get you off your feet. Or is it to get you on your feet? Yeah, because as soon as I said that comment, I'm looking at the Page of Swords, and you can see that, so he's not on his feet. So you're going to be doing something, something critical here to, or it's like not even, maybe you may not do something may just happen to where you get an idea. Maybe you're researching something online and you see something and you're like, it just clicks and you're like, dude, this is the way that, and like, this is just going to set me on the right track moving forward. So, but you need to do that inner healing, that work, however that looks to you guys here in this month, okay? And you may still feel, at least in finances, like things are really getting dark. You're just going to feel really unclear. And you're going to feel a lot of anxiety in your mind regarding your finances in the present and the future. But the Moon card does alert you to not allow your inner disturbances and self-deception to get the best of you, okay? So hang in there is the message. Okay, I already knew. I was like, this isn't going to be a major arcana, just because Source is so cute with me, in terms of making sure, like I said, I always feel like I get my one major arcana every time I happen to read it, where I do happen to have columns. So it's just adorable. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Now, I feel the Ace of Wands, guys, really, it's about beginnings. And the fact that it is in the reverse, it tells me that it's almost like it's telling me that whatever this is back here, that you're, that you have the strength to start, in terms of the career or your business or projects, something that's going to essentially aid in attracting pentacles, right? I feel that this is going to be the month to start it. Okay, this is going to be the month to start it. And I say that because in the month, the prior month, right, we have the moon. So you're going to be feeling still all over the place. And so you are not going to be, basically the message here is you're not going to feel ready to do it in the month of June. But I feel that the month of June is going to be, honestly, guys, whatever it is that this thing is, if this resonates, if this reading has resonated with you so far, is you need to start it. You absolutely need to start it, because you're going to be in your head. You may feel like there's blocks, okay? You may feel a lack of energy. You're going to feel hesitancy 100%. You're going to feel creative blocks. But this is all something that you have the strength, as I said earlier, to muster through. Okay, absolutely, guys. I mean, you have the power of the Magician here. You just need a little guidance. Your finances, it's kind of keeping you in the dark a little bit here. So you're kind of, it's like a cloud of anxiety. Okay, that's the best way to explain it, because everything else here is just just on fire for you. It's really beautiful energy. And your finances still, it's not detrimental. I'm not seeing like, you know what I mean? Like, by no means you have, like, things are going to work out, because something always ends up coming through, guys. Okay, so just take my word for it. Just trust in yourself, trust in source energy, and things, you will attract what needs to happen. You will absolutely attract what needs to happen to get you through this period of the moon energy, okay? And even the 10 of Wands here. This is going to allow you to take a look at this past romantic connection and heal from it, okay? So going back here though to your finances for the month of June. You may feel like you're lacking progress or starting off slow with whatever this is, but basically you're going to be feeling like your projects aren't going as quickly as you would like. And you may feel like there's even obstacles getting in your way, here in the month of June. But it's like, what I'm getting from this is like, guys, this is really your month to start. To really start whatever this is, and by doing so, I feel that this is going to help with this overall situation of anxiety. Now, in addition, you're going to, I not to be the bearer of bad news, but I just want to say what's in the energy here. This can speak to financial losses. So I'm not going to say be prepared for financial loss. It's just that you may expect, it's just the energy is here for some financial loss in some form or fashion. I don't know, the details of that, but let's see. Let's just get a specific. Okay, the Empress. So Major Arcana, the Empress came out on its side. And so really, again, the Empress is all about creativity as well as resources, guys, but creativity. So that's just telling you again it's something, whatever this is that you want to pursue, it's like it speaks to the creative side of you. Okay, so whatever this creative thing is that you want to pursue, you're just being called again to pursue it. It's like really just tap into your abundance, guys. Once you start nurturing yourself and taking time to, really to rest, okay, and to delegate tasks, things are going to start easing up for you. But, don't doubt yourself. Just continue to move forward with your instincts, with your passions, with things that bring you joy. I mean, what more can I say than... With the Magician here, guys, and you have the Strength here. So, you're attracting and manifesting love. You're attracting and manifesting love in all forms and fashions, and even having gone through a Two of Cups in the reverse energy. But make sure to take a look at that. Make sure to forgive when the time is right, to cord cut, energetic cord cut in the mind if need be, whatever, guys, however that looks to you. But you really need to be ready, to understand and move on and forgive and understand that things just are, guys. Things are just happening. But pay that no mind, because again, your love is looking beautiful. It's your love is looking abundant, So, remember here as well that you have the strength, okay, to get through this period of financial uncertainty is really the best way to say it. Financial uncertainty and ultimately possible financial loss. Now, this is, again, just the energy that's being picked up. This can always change, right? We have free will, because, right, I don't know what you're going to do. And then, you could go do something in the next month or this month or next month that alters this outcome or any of these things. But ultimately, guys, it's you had the Magician, so you're going to be able to get through this, and things are going to eventually start to become clearer once you take time, that time of solitude, that time of rest, of reflection, of wisdom, of connection, of ascension, of consciousness. So I wish you all the best. I really had fun with that reading, so I think definitely I'm going to have to add that one, to where I do kind of a 3 month ahead thing every quarter. So I will go. I will see you guys. Bye.